Hi, I'm Tracy, and welcome to Affinity for Planner Creators, where I teach tips and tricks and practical uses for Affinity Publisher 2 to create your digital planners or your printable planners. So let's get started. Today we're going to open our first document, and to do that, we're going to go to File and we're going to go to New. And this is what's going to pop up. Now, because I have used mine before, I have some presets in here, and I will show you how to make presets later. But we're going to go with this one because it's wider and just for demonstration purposes. But what you're going to do is want to decide if you're going to go into pixels or points or inches, and click on that one. And since I'm in the US, I use inches. You're going to want to put in how wide you want it, how tall you want it, and then your DPI. And for this, I always go with the highest DPI. That gives you a crisper, clearer, finished image, finished planner. If you want it to be facing pages, you can click this box, and then you can tell it whether you want to start on the left or the right, and if you want it horizontal or vertical. For this demonstration, we're just going to have the single page. Then you're going to go to color, and you always want to use your highest color that you can, which at this point in time is RGB 32. It says HDR beside it. We want to click on that for crisp, clean colors. We don't need a transparent background. And for this one, we don't need margins because we're just going to be using this for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to unclick that and turn that off. And the bleed we don't need, and it's already in 0, so we're good to go. So all we have to do now is click Create. Now we have a blank document to work with. And the very first thing you notice is this far left-hand tools have lit up, and these 3 boxes at the top have lit up. So these are what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to go to, the first thing you want to do is have a grid. You want to have a grid on your paper so that you can line things up so they'll all be neat and tidy with your finished product. So we're going to go to View, and we're going to go to Show Grid. Then we're going to go back to View and go to Grid and Axis. And when that opens up, this is going to give you the ability to change the size of these boxes. So see, we have them right here. And we want to make very small ones so we can have our planner be very crisp and neat. So we want very small ones. So we're going to go to Basic. And right now they're 1-inch grids. What we want to use is 0.125. So just type in 1.125 and hit enter. And then you can just hit close. Now we have much smaller boxes. So that gives us a better way to line things up in a tighter fashion so that they look crisp and clean. If you do not see the grid, come up here to this windshield. Looks like a windshield wiper going across it. It's called Preview Mode. You can click that. This toggles it off. Click it again. It turns it back on. So just make sure that you're seeing your grid. The other one that's really important is the snapping tool. And that is when you do create a shape or a text box or whatever on here, it helps you to snap to these grid lines so that everything can be lined up perfectly. So you can click the drop down menu, and it should be clicked in Enable Snapping. If it's not, just click in the box and that turns it on. And then you can just click off of that and you're good to go. So what do I mean by snapping? If we come over here to our tools, this box here, which is what yours is probably on if you've never used this before, it has a drop-down menu of all different kinds of shapes that you can add to your document, but we're going to stick with the rectangle tool. and we're going to just draw a rectangle. We're going to click somewhere else and hit the letter V, and that will give you your move tool. So what we're going to do is click on this, and you can see it's just kind of stuck in the middle of the page. Well, we're going to want it to be in a uniform space. So we're going to drag it up here, and if you'll see the red lines going across and the green lines going up and down, that means that it is snapped to the grid in an even space in the corners. So we know exactly where that is sitting. So then if we want to come up here to the text, the frame text tool, and we want to add a text box, we can add a text box, and we're going to change the font to a bigger font. Let's go with a 24. So all you have to do is come to this drop down menu and scroll down to the one you want. If you don't see, if this goes from 24 to 30, if you want it to be 28, just click in the box to highlight it and put 28, and it will take it. Now, we're not going to want our text all scrunched up here in the corner, so we're going to go straight up here to the alignment center, and this is your where you can align left, center, align right, or justify. So we're going to center that. So that has centered it horizontally. Well, now it's going to be way up at the top of the box, so we want to center it vertically as well. So we're going to go to the box beside it, center vertically, and then we're going to type in, "Have a great day." Now, we click onto the page somewhere, hit the letter V. That takes it off. Now, when you click on it, it gives you the ability to move it. Well, we want it to be in line with this. So I'm going to scroll in here, and we have our box, and I want it to align. So it's perfectly aligned at the top, because you can see that red all the way across there. That means that those two are perfectly aligned. And you can see the faint green line showing you that you are definitely on that grid line. So there's one space exactly between those. So now you know that you have those spaced perfectly. So that's what your snapping tool and your grid lines, your preview mode with the grids and all that is for. That gives you the ability to have everything crisp. If you want to put a line, then you go to your pen tool to draw a straight line. So let's see, we want a line across here under this gray box. So we're going to click once here. We're going to go across, and you know you're in the straight line when you've got the green and the red going through it. Click once here, and then go up and hit your move tool, and that turns it into a line. So if you click off of it, it's just a straight line. Now there's places for lines, but creating 15 of these and then having to line them up and all of that gets to be very difficult. So instead, I will teach you in another video how to use tables to create lines for various purposes. So this is what we have here. We've got our grid turned on. We've got the preview turned on so we can see it. We've got the snapping tool on. So you're ready to start creating. So we'll have links to other videos down in the descriptions. And if you have any questions, leave your comments and I will get back to you and we'll figure all this out together. Have a great day.